Fantastic.
It is fantastic. He is the OG. I mentioned him before. When it comes to this show, he is without peer. Raj Mathai from NBC Bay Area. Come on, everybody. What's up, Raj?
Did you say big star? Is Brock Purdy in the lobby waiting?
How about that? So Brock Purdy was tested in ways that he hadn't really been tested to that point. I mean, let's face it. That was by no means a foregone conclusion that the Niners are going to walk away with that yesterday.
That was a tough game. I loved watching that game. I think everyone, Cowboys fans and Niners fans, regardless of the outcome, that's a football game. I mean, that was tense. That was exciting. That was fun. The crowd was wild. That was awesome. And that Cowboys defense, man, that's real good. It was really good, and it was just a battle. We're going to remember that game for a while.
Now, can we get anything from what you're talking about? That is to say, the way that defense schemed against us for the Eagles? In other words, can we draw from that? What might we see that was similar, and what might we have to step up to take on an insanely talented Eagles team?
Wow, you're sounding like a defensive coordinator. What
yeah, come on, everybody. Yeah, thank you. Thank
you. It's a great question, because I was watching that game last night, and then at the end of that game, I was thinking, wow, the Eagles are going to be just as tough defensively. I mean, the Eagles are a really good team. So for the two best teams in the NFC are in the championship, which is great. And I have no idea how it's going to play out. I don't think anyone does, because we just have a really good Eagles team and a really good Niners team. So it's going to be good.
I was saying before that playing in Philadelphia is probably, I mean, based on what I'm hearing from others, and this is why I'm asking you, because you really know this stuff. Not just saying that, you know, prior to your anchor in the sports, you've worked, with NFL and, kind of know this. So the question comes to you. I've heard that that's the toughest place to play football of all the stadiums in America. Is that the place that is sort of the most fearsome in terms of an away game?
I think certainly it's in that top 3 or top 5. The Eagles are really good. You're a former weather guy. I want to know what the forecast is.
I haven't looked, but you're right. Do they still play on when I was growing up, when I was a kid, they used to play on what is essentially green concrete. You know what I mean?
Veterans Stadium. It was
right.
Cold. It was ugly. It was green. It was green concrete.
No, they've changed that, right? Now they've come into the okay.
It's a fancy new field now. I think it's called Lincoln Financial Field, something like that. But I'm curious to know what the forecast is for 3 p.m. Eastern time, Philadelphia time on Sunday, because that's going to play it. But to answer your question, yeah, it's a tough place to play. It's just Philly fans are tough. So it's just going to be really difficult. And I was looking at Brock Purdy yesterday. He wasn't great, but he was great because he didn't make those mistakes. With previous quarterbacks, whether it's Jimmy G or anyone else, you're looking at an interception or a fumble, but Brock Purdy just doesn't do that. And that in itself, I don't like when people say, oh, he managed the game well. No, he won that game. He did really well for the Niners. It was great.
Does that mean when the other 2 quarterbacks are healthy and they come back, that he has shifted them out of a job, or does he then go sit back on the bench?
I think what we've seen now, he goes in as the starter. Those other guys have to take his job if that's the case. Again, we'll say it again. I don't think Jimmy G's coming back, though we did say that last season in terms to the Niners for next season. So I think looking at it now, it would be Brock Purdy and then whoever else wants to fight for his job, which would be Trey Lance.
I think that's what Mark has to worry about when I fill in for him.
Yes, I do.
Same
kind
of situation. Worry. Yeah.
Well, Albert has to worry about that too. There's a lot of succession.
Yeah,
oh my God! If you only knew the competition, the jockeying for position. But you make a really good point, and I'm so glad you make it, because I was having this argument while the game was going on with somebody I was watching the game with, and he was saying, well, Purdy he did that thing where that's sort of the default position. He's managing the game well. He, has a great team around him. Of course he has a great team around him, but there are a lot of quarterbacks who have great teams around him, or who wouldn't be as good at managing the situation as Purdy was. The argument was he's a B-level quarterback in an A-level scheme. I don't know about that. I think he's showing A-level skills. Who would you rather have in there? I wouldn't rather have Russell Wilson in there. I wouldn't. I think Wilson makes too many mistakes. I don't think he's the Russell Wilson that he was. I mean, who then?
Do you want
go
Dak
ahead.
Prescott? He outplayed Dak Prescott yesterday. You know, Dak Prescott should have had 3 interceptions, actually.
That's right.
At one point, I think it was Fred Warner just dropped it. It was, you know, Dre Greenlaw, actually. So I don't want anyone else in there. Yeah, you can go with the sexier name, but right now he complements this team the best. If you want to call it game management, that's fine. I don't like that term because it seems to cheapen what he's done. By not making mistakes, that's high-level football. Is he the most gifted guy? Did everyone get it wrong? No, I think in terms of the draft, you look at height and weight and hand size and all that stuff, and it doesn't measure well. So that's why he was Mr. Irrelevant. But now people really need to start thinking differently about how he is.
So well put. It diminishes him when you talk about him you talk about him as a game manager. You know.
Yeah, well, I think game manager, I think Alex Smith and these type of quarterbacks, but I don't see anybody improvise quite like Brock Purdy does. He knows how to do things on the fly, out of the pocket, and he's not just running out of the pocket to run. He's running out of the pocket to make more opportunities. So
yeah, it's a great point. Really, you know, the biggest thing with him for me is that I don't look at him as a rookie. Sure, he hasn't been in the NFL as a player, but this guy's a 5th-year starter now, right? 4 years at Iowa State. How many people do we know, even in college, that we've heard of that start as a freshman and a sophomore and junior? That doesn't happen. This guy's been starting games for now in his 5th year. So, yes, it's an NFL rookie, and I know the learning curve is much different, but that's when you know how to manage a game. You know how to scramble. You know when to throw the ball away, even though he barely got it done with 1 second left yesterday, right before halftime. So he just knows he's smart, and he's pretty athletic, so it's great.
I think if that 1 second had ticked off, it might have been a significant demerit to the point that we would note it in this conversation, you know. But he seemed to have clock awareness. Again,
that would have been his biggest mistake.
Yeah,
if that second ticked off, because it was a not guaranteed, but a sure 3 points.
I mean, I look at other quarterbacks around the league, and then we move on from quarterback. But I mean, you know, they played Geno Smith. I'd rather have Purdy than Smith. Kyler Murray, he's like a highlight reel, but then you see that, you know, he goes poof. Same problem. I wouldn't want him. Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, you know. I mean, these are guys who serve up the kinds of mistakes that you suggest, Raj, he was able to avoid. Purdy was able to excel all game and avoid mistakes. You know, you're not going to light up the highlight reel on every set of downs. Sometimes you do just have to manage a situation.
And last point about the quarterback. So now you're down to the final 4, and this is where it gets tough, because now you're saying, is he better than Mahomes? No. Joe Burrow? No. Jalen Hurts? Maybe not. I mean, now you're getting down to the cream of the crop. So this will be the test. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be tight.
Yeah. I mean, again, this isn't a punt, pass, and kick contest, though. So we are, we have a fearsome defense, and we have weapons beyond just the quarterback position. So again, it's not just who has the best star at quarterback. I mean, Hurts to me is a tremendous threat. I mean, I just don't know how you defense against this guy who's capable of doing so much by himself. You know,
sorry, the Niners defense is going to have to hit him and make them a little hesitant as the game moves forward.
Even against Dak, I saw that there was a great pass rush, but sometimes it's tough to close all those gaps, and Prescott took advantage of that a couple of times.
I'm excited. I'm just excited to see this game because they're really evenly matched, and it's going to be down to 1 or 2 plays, which is what the playoffs are all about. Even yesterday's game, it was 2 interceptions, right? Missed point after that poor kicker for Dallas, but it's little things like that.
That was Albert called that. What did you call it? Appointment TV, Albert, to watch the field goal kicker.
TV. Right when the Cowboys
nice
scored.
NBC plug, Albert. That's why I love you.
Yeah.
Right when the Cowboys scored, everybody was tuning in to watch the kicker.
And poor guy, that kick was good. Well, that kick was going to miss. It doesn't matter if it was blocked or not.
He got saved by the block. Exactly. Yeah. He was going to miss another one. By the way, it's my NBC mug. I normally am wearing my, my Mark Thompson Show mug is what I'm rocking. But today, in your honor, I've got the NBC. By the way, last thing, I did promise, Albert, I promised Raj a Mark Thompson show throw pillow if he would join us today.
You can cuddle up with that. That's
yeah,
nice.
Kim, you know this is a premium item. And we're going to send it out to Raj.
The trophies over there, top left on his screen.
Yeah, put it next to your Emmys. There's make room on the mantle. Raj, we love you for joining. Last minute, I told everybody I just threw up the bad beam, and you were there, man. You are the OG. We love you. Thank you.
You guys have a great show. Always appreciate the invite, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Philly, and then maybe, you never know, Arizona in a few weeks for the Super Bowl.
Wouldn't that be sweet? If so, we'll talk again. All right.
Yep.
Thanks,
See
Raj.
you then. Bye, guys.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.